This is Transformation and Regeneration by Jason F. McLennan. How to really make America great again. As a Canadian who has now lived in the U.S. for 27 years, married an American, and founded businesses here, I have really begun to understand this country. I love the people, the culture, the innovation, but I also cringe at many other things. In some of the stories Americans tell themselves, I see alarming propagandist national myths. Every nation has them, but the USA's are particularly strong, perhaps directly proportional to the country's wealth and power. Canadians are the perfect observers of American culture, especially, quote, clean-cut Caucasian Canadians like me. It's like being invited into the back room. People assume I'm American. I look and sound American. And as a fellow white male, they let down their guard fully. I've been privy to goings-on in the business world that would shock and upset a lot of people. I've heard the locker room talk and the true state of commerce, and yes, the very real white privilege that exists. There is shocking white privilege in this country. Yet since I'm Canadian and not American, when I go abroad, I also get a true sense of how other nations view America. "Oh, you're Canadian. I thought you were American," they say. And then they proceed to tell me what they really think of the United States. I do think this is one of the greatest countries in the world, perhaps one of the greatest in modern history. There is so much to be proud of, and yet almost every nation cringes at the rhetoric that routinely comes out of the U.S. political landscape about just how superior this country is or was, depending on which mythology is being championed. But what is generally left unsaid is the U.S. is a country with a deeply checkered past and troubling mythologies that hold it back by propagating significant pain and division, manifesting nowadays politically. For America to truly be great again, to play on the crazy rhetoric of the Trump campaign, it needs to examine the excessive white male privilege that is ingrained within its institutions and cultural norms. The false nostalgia for social simplicity with cultural norms and institutions that prop up that privilege and make up the very qualities that have diminished America and keep it from greatness today. These are also the very qualities of the American empire that trouble most of the world. From my vantage, to truly make America great requires beginning a deep process of healing and reconciliation that can only be done through a sustained, honest, and at times painful dialogue that truly recognizes the injustice of the past and present and acknowledges how these injustices continue to affect its people today. A process of reparations and mature national dialogue starts with an acknowledgement of a different view of history, that America is only great because it was built on the back of a lot of suffering, exploitation, genocide, racism, and environmental degradation. The U.S. is the world's top empire currently. And empires are only ever built on the backs of people and the environment. That is the core part of the definition of empire, because it requires the dominance of multiple cultures and peoples with a centralized ideology and power structure. America isn't unique in this regard. Exploitation is the MO of any dominant empire, and the British, Spanish, French, Portuguese, to name just a few, have modeled this to devastating global effect in pursuit of their far-flung empires they once controlled, including, of course, this country.